Okay, so we're back and we're continuing reading in the introduction of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Now, already they've told us about how many manuscripts they found and about what type of order they were in and who found them or who they've given the credit to for finding them. And so we're going to read a little more in um, this book. All right, we're on page 6. Okay. Thanks again for joining us. It says the Scroll team began well, publishing its first volume of text in 1955. This book contained additional fragments from the first cave in Bedouin had entered, and it contained pieces of documents that had turned up after the first 7 scrolls were removed. Both of this nature is of necessity slow, wrote G. L. Harding, director of the Jordanian Department of Antiquities, in the foreword. It may well be a few years before the series can be completed. Harding could not have foreseen that 40 years later the work would still not be complete. What explains the achingly slow pace of publication? For one thing, the work required considerably more time than originally estimated. The first 7 scrolls were all more or less intact, although some were in better repair than the others. The publishing program consisted of simply publishing photographs of the text, which were and still are legible to anyone who can read ancient Hebrew. But undamaged scrolls like these turned out to be the exception. Most were fragmentary, and it required considerable painstaking work to even figure out which fragments originally belonged to the same scroll. So this gives way for human error. Mm. That work necessarily had to be done before even preliminary translations and interpretations could be issued. This work, by the way, still continues, and new joins, ways of connecting the fragments are discovered from time to time. We propose a few ourselves in the pages that follow. The work of collecting and joining fragments then required much painstaking work, and not a little ingenuity. The original team did this phase of its work well, but in hindsight, it is clear that the task was too large and the team too small. The second volume of DJD came out in 1961 with text from Muraba at DJD 3, followed in 1962, containing all the text from caves 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 10, the so-called minor caves, for comparatively few scrolls were found in those caves. Number 4, in 1965, contained a single manuscript of the Book of Psalms from Cave 11. Only with DJD 5 in 1968 were several manuscripts from the Mother Lode Cave 4 issued. And so we have all of these different manuscripts coming at different times. And the manuscripts that they've discovered, these are the manuscripts that they used to write the Bible. And the ones that they discovered were fragmentary, and they put them together based on other things, not necessarily based on the inclination of the creator. Hmm. And so, it with that being said, it is hard to believe a book whenever its originality has been misplaced. It is difficult to believe in a book that has been sanctioned off and separated, and a book that was brought forth in fragments, and people, in their own tireless efforts, made it a whole. This is not something that you should believe in. It is the inclination of the spirit of the creator that we should believe in. And the creator can take that same book that was put together by people and allow it to be illuminated in your life in a supernatural way. Yes, this is possible. However, it is not the only book that the creator has given for this purpose. And so when we read the Bible, we must be careful to know that the Bible is the words from the Creator. However, the words from the Creator have been altered by the words of mankind. So you must be able to distinguish the two. And if you're not able to, then don't fear. If you're not able to, ask the Creator, and the Creator will help you. The Creator is so gracious that the Creator will not lead us the wrong way. And so, in our trust in the Creator, we read these Dead Sea Scrolls as we've read the Bible along with you as well. And when we get to certain places, we're going to be able to stop and discuss those things so that the understanding can be made clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer until we know those things that we need to know. We trust those things that we need to trust, and we discard those things that we need to discard. Come on, real church. It's time to rise up. It's time to rise up in the knowledge that you've been given. It's time to do what we need to do, for this is the reason why we're here. I love you, and I want you to be well. See you next time.